Hello everyone, I am Prankur Gupta and today we are going to understand classes and objects in Java. So as we have already discussed what are classes and objects in my OOPS lecture. So classes are the blueprints, or you can say design, which are defining states and behavior of an object, and objects are a real world entity which have some states and behavior. So that was okay, but in this lecture we are going to study classes and objects in brief. So first of all, to know about classes and objects, we have to first know how to create a class, how to declare a class, how to define a class, and what are the contents that we can place in a class. And after that, in last, we will see how to create an object of a class. Okay, so first of all, let us see how to declare a class. In declaration of a class, here I am using access modifier first. Now what is this access modifier? We will see that in my later lessons when I will be discussing about access modifiers. But we know that if some might of you have know about access modifiers are private, protected and public. They are basically used to achieve encapsulation. Actually we know that encapsulation is basically hiding the data from end user. So basically they help us to achieve that encapsulation using private, protected and public. There is one more access modifier used in Java, which is default. A default access modifier is also used in Java, which is basically by default given to every component of a class in Java. So if we do not give any access modifier to any variable or method in Java, then automatically a default access modifier will be given to that. Okay, now after that we have to write a class keyword. Now we have to give a name to this class, which is name of a class. Now there is a convention that Java use is camel case. Camel case convention says that every word of a class name should have a first letter capital. It means if I am giving name to my class, then every word first letter should be capital. Okay, if my class name is hello world, then H of hello and W of world should be capital. Okay, this is the convention that Java used. Now what we can use in can declare in class. Now we can declare fields, or you can say instance variables or data members or global variables in a class, and after that we can also declare some methods in a class. Now let us see how we can define or declare these methods and fields in Java. Now to define a class, first we have seen that we have to declare a class. After that we have to define a field and define a method. Now how we can define a field? So field is nothing but a variable or data members that we can use. So like int a, float a, these all are the fields or variables. Now to declare a variable, we first have to use access modifiers. Now this is optional, this is not compulsory for us to use it. Okay, so by default a default access modifier will be given to that variable if we do not write any access modifier. Okay, now after that we have to give the data type. Now data type can be int, float, any data type that we have available in Java. Now after that we have to write the variable name. Now variable name means, like we have seen that int a, float b, so b and a are the variable name. Okay, after that we have to do the initialization, I mean giving memory to that variable. Now this is for field. Now let us see how to define a method. To define a method, first we have to give access modifier, which is optional. After that we can give return type. Return type is like int, float, anything that a function can return. It can also be void. Void means it will return nothing. Now after that we have to give method name, a name to a method. Now you can see here what I have written here. M is small and N is capital. So basically if you are using two words to give a method a name, then first letter of a word should be small, and after that all the words first letter should be capital. As you can see here also, method M is small, and after that I am using name word whose first letter is capital. Okay, so in class we have, while giving a name to a class, then we have seen that all the words first letter should be capital while giving a name to a class. And in method we have seen that to give any name to a method, then first letter of first word should be small, and after that onwards all the words first letter should be capital. Okay, and after that we can give parameters to this method. Okay, and under this method we can write any statements. Now let us see with the help of example how to declare, define and create the objects of the class. Now here what I am doing basically, it is a basic program in which I have declared a class public, class demo. As you can see here, class first letter is capital and demo's first letter is capital. Under that I have defined two fields, int a is equals to 10 and int b. I have initialized the variable a as 10 and I have not initialized b. Now we have seen in C++ we cannot initialize a variable outside a constructor. I have not declared any constructor here, but I am initializing a variable outside a constructor. It is possible in Java, but it is not possible in C++. Okay, so Java basically giving us a liberty to initialize a variable outside a constructor. Now let us see. Now here I have defined a method which I have given a access modifier public, and after that it will going to return nothing as I have declared it as void, and after that the name of the method which is go, and I have not passed any parameters. Now under this method I have declared a variable int c. Now int c, now there is a difference between int a and b and int c. Actually a and b are global variables and int c is a local variable. When I am talking about global means global inside a class. In Java we cannot declare or define anything outside a class. As Java is a purely object oriented programming language, we cannot initialize or declare or define anything outside a class. Okay, everything must be in a class. So when I am talking about a global variables, it means a global inside a class. And when I am talking about a local variable, it means local inside a block. So basically C is a local variable and int a and int b are global variables. Now I am printing a statement which is printing the value of C. So basically if it is accessible, C is accessible here, okay, but it is giving us a compilation error. What is a compilation error? Local variable must be initialized before you use. Now in Java, if we are using the value of any local variable, then we must initialize it before its usage. Okay, it is not true for global variables. I have tell you that a default value is given to every variable in Java, but it is true for only global variables. A default value is not given to any local variables, as int c is a local variable, so a default value will be not given to him. Okay, so that is why it is giving us a compilation error that local variables must be initialized before use. Now here b is already initialized with 0 value by default, okay, because it is a global variable, so it will automatically initialize with 0. Okay, but it is not true for local variables. So local variables in Java must be initialized before usage. Now let us see another method which is display. It is printing the value of C, A and B, but C is giving us a compilation error. Why? Because C is not accessible, because C is a local only to go method. So we can't access it here, but we can access A and B because they are global. So it will print the value of A as 10 and B as 0, because all the integer variables have by default a 0 value. Okay, now let us see how we can create an object of this class. To create object of this class, I have used a public static void main function. I have already told you we can't create the object of this class outside the public static void main. Okay, because the execution of our program is going to start from this main function, because JVM will first look for this main function. So to use these all functions and variables, we must have to create an object of this class, because this class have no significance without its object. So we must have to create the object of this class. To create the object of this class, we can create the object of this class inside this main function. Why? Because the execution of our program is going to start from main function. So here what I am doing, basically first I have declared my class demo object. It is just a declaration. This statement is just a declaration, class demo obj. It is not giving memory to my object. Okay, it is just a reference which is created at stack memory. Okay, now before telling you how reference data types can be initialized, let me tell you, because class is a reference data type, so it must be initialized using new keyword. Okay, to create the object of any reference data type, or you can say to initialize any reference data type, we must use new keyword. Okay, so but before telling how to initialize reference data type, let me remind you how we were initializing a primitive data type. So basically here we have declared a variable int a, which is a primitive data type. So while we were declaring it, it was getting memory at stack and with 0, because by default primitive data types have 0 value. And after that we have initialized a variable initialize a as 10, and it was getting memory at stack as 10. Okay, now after that I have declared a variable obj, which is a reference, not our object. So it is just a reference which is getting memory at stack and initializing with null. All reference data types have by default null value. And after that I am initializing it with new class demo. So new class demo is basically our object which is created at heap, because all the objects gets memory at heap at runtime. Okay, and obj is a reference which gets memory at stack, which is pointing to an object located at heap. Okay, now it is clear. And after that, using obj.go, using the reference of this object, I am accessing go function, and obj.display I am accessing display function. This is all. This is just a simple example about classes and objects. Now let us see how to use a class, how to create the object of a class when we have multiple classes. Here is a class demo, and here is another class demo 2. Here I am accessing the all the variables and methods of class demo from another class. So here, if I want to execute all the components of class demo, I have created a main function inside class demo 2, and inside that I am creating the object of this class. So when I will try to execute this class, it will basically create the object of this class. Okay, so when I will try, because we can't execute this class. Why? Because this class does not have main function. A class without main function cannot be executed. So we have to execute this class. When I try to execute this class, it will first create the object of this class, and after creating its object, it is calling the obj.go, its function go. Okay, so it will print the value of a and b. What is the value of a? 10. And what is the value of b? 0. So it will print 10 and 0. That's how you can use multiple classes in Java. Okay, thank you guys. That's all about classes and objects in Java. I hope you like my video. If you like it, then don't forget to follow and share this video. This is my Unacademy profile link. You can follow me from there.